guys, and welcome back to this place. If you are new, then welcome here for the very first time. I am Carmen, and today we are watching Season 1, Episode 5 of Battlestar Galactica, which is a continuation of the last episode. They left us on a cliffhanger, which honestly is fun. Like, a lot of shows don't do to be continueds anymore, and it feels very nostalgic for me to have that, I guess. A to be continued moment into the next episode, because it reminds me of growing up and they would do that. Like, I don't know why I'm so awkward today, you guys. Anyway, aside from the nostalgia, I thought it was a really good episode. We really delved into Starbuck's grief and guilt over everything that happened to Zach. We saw Adama kind of confronting his feelings about it, as well as the person responsible, which, you know, again, I don't really think that, I don't know, it's a whole thing. I think I talked about it in the end of the last episode. We also had, at the very end, which led to the to be continued section, we had, was it eight Cylon Raiders just showed up because they had, since taking out the Olympic carrier, they had, I think, if I remember correctly, been free of the Cylons, and now the Cylons are back because, like they said, they can only avoid them for so long, right? So we'll see how that plays out. But most importantly, at the very end, right before the to be continued moment, we had Starbuck ejecting out of her, what is it called? Like a fighter jet? Oh my god, no. Like, they had the name of them in the last episode too. Hold on, let me see if I wrote it down. Viper Mar 2, possibly? Anyway, she was in one of those and she ejected, and then she was falling towards a planet, and then black screen. Let's see what happened after the black screen.
Galactica, Boomer. Hot dogs aboard.
Yeah, so's his lunch. Look.
I never know when it's gonna...
Search and rescue ops are underway for Starbuck.
She could still be alive.
She is alive, Lieutenant. We're gonna find her.
Yeah.
I think you earned those today.
It would be a very, like, bittersweet feeling, though. Is he gonna go after her? Yes.
Find her.
I will.
Feels. Okay, so she made it. What was that? What is pulling her? Oh, okay, it's just her parachute. She needs to, like, cut it loose. That's all wrapped around her foot, too. Is she hurt? I mean, she did fall. I mean, she had a parachute, but she still fell a fair way, you know, you know what I'm saying. It looks like her leg is hurt. I wonder, I'm assuming this is a planet that doesn't have oxygen, so I wonder how long her oxygen reserves are gonna last. Okay, this is the end. Okay, once this is over, then I look away. I'm learning, you guys. I'm learning.
Still no joy from the search teams, sir.
We need more pilots.
Yep.
It's time to start guessing.
Yep.
I would have to guess that her Viper was captured by the gravity of a planetary body.
The only nearby gravity wells are the gas giant and this moon.
What about the moon?
It's cold as hell down there, but she could survive on the surface.
Okay.
Until her oxygen runs out.
Yes, that's what I was
When?
saying.
46 hours and change, sir.
Okay, that's a longer than I was thinking.
Talk to me about searching the moon.
It's gonna be slow going. Can't see squat through those clouds.
Send the ships below the cloud cover. Tell the pilots to take a hard look the old-fashioned way.
Mark 1 eyeball, sir.
Mark 1 eyeball.
Eyeball. Does that mean they're just looking with their eyes?
How is the search progressing?
Nothing yet.
The other captains, they've agreed to give over their ships, increase the odds of finding her.
Track the odds. We're gonna find her.
Who cares? Yeah, it's personal. She's wearing blue this time.
How long do you think it'll be before the Cylons wonder what happened to their missing patrol? How many days till the Cylons return, guys? 1, 2, 3 at the most.
It's still so funny to imagine what he must look like to other people when this is happening.
Doctor?
Thank you.
He's so awkward about it too. Like, I mean, I don't know how you could be less awkward, but I feel like he makes it more awkward. Oh no. So no communication abilities. That's cool though, to see if the atmosphere is breathable or not.
Battlestar Galactica, we are being bounced around like beach balls down here.
Cylons? Sounds like Cylons. Why stop though? Like, they know that they're there, so is this just like, again, more theater, more show to like freak them out? Freak him out? If that toast or whatever pops up, he's screwed.
Is breakfast ready? Lords, it's Kara Thrice, and I could use a lucky break. No? Okay, just thought I'd mention it.
So she's praying. Uh-oh.
Oh, frick.
Those ships aren't manned though, right? Like, there's not tiny Cylon machines in the big Cylon ships. Oh, maybe there was a person.
Not bad shooting, if I do say so myself. Lord, I owe you one. Looks like I found my ride out of here. If I can fix you up.
Are these figures correct?
Atmospheric ops mean Viper and Raptor engines have to run continuously. Fuel's gonna be a real problem if we keep it up.
We should consider pulling the civvies into a defensible formation.
No. We've left enough people behind. I don't want to leave Starbuck behind.
I'm just saying, committing the entire fleet to this
I
search.
said no! We're gonna find our missing pilot. And we're gonna bring her home.
He can't lose another child, right? And he sees Starbuck as his child. And also, they fought the last time that he saw her, and so he doesn't want that to be what she remembers.
Sharon!
Is she gonna be gone, or is she still gonna be there? Or is his, like, thing gonna be finding her?
Damn it, Sharon! Where are you? Sharon!
So this is what they wanted. I still don't really understand the point of all of that on Caprica, but I guess we'll find out more as time continues to go on.
Frack me.
Oh gosh, is the whole ship like alive? Blood pours out. Okay.
We need more eyes.
Where are you gonna get them?
Redeploy the combat air patrol to the search.
If all our Vipers are fracking around on the moon when the Cylons come calling, we're maggot meat.
Well, then bring the fleet closer to the moon. We can double the area we can search in the time we have left.
Starbuck would be the first one to tell you not to do this.
Leave her behind. Get rid of the foul-mouthed, insubordinate pilot.
I'm not the one confusing personal feelings with Judy.
It's not wrong, but I'm with Lee always. Well, maybe not always. I don't know. We'll see. But right now.
Get as many birds up in the air as you can, and you find our girl.
You got it.
Feels. This is a case of I wonder if they would do this much if it was Hot Dog or, you know, a random pilot versus Starbuck.
My God. You bite me and I'll bite you back.
You just stabbed it.
This must be your brain. I don't think you'll need it. Good thing that I brought one of my own.
This is quite disgusting.
Even cockroaches have to breathe. How the hell do you?
Yeah, Paula.
Hold for President Russell?
How are you holding up?
Better than my Viper.
Do you know that your father just redeployed the Combat Air Patrol?
It was my idea.
Your idea.
We need every Viper we've got.
There are times when it is necessary for the safety of the fleet to put our...
Not this time. We just haven't exhausted all the options, and the safety of the fleet has not been compromised.
I hope you find her.
You know, I agree with this, but it's just, you know, it's not one standard rule throughout for everybody, you know? So the fairness of it is a bit like, you know?
Did someone call him back to Galactica?
I just assumed...
The search was over. It was hopeless. We should write Starbuck off as dead. Is that what you're telling me, Mr. Gaeta?
No, sir.
You have your orders.
Yes, sir.
She's out of O2.
She could have a reserve supply.
Reserve. She just happened to pack an extra bottle today. We are putting people at risk.
We are not quitting. And you're relieved, Colonel.
Oh, damn.
We stand relieved.
If I'm on his ship, though, I'm like, would you do this for me? Because I would be more willing to, like, do everything if I knew that that effort was going to be returned if I was the one in that same situation. You know what I mean? Not that caring about people and, like, their lives should have to be reciprocal, but I'm just saying. There's something, it's hissing. Like air, I hear air. Yep. How disgusting. Like, you would have to do what you would have to do to survive, but, like, imagine putting that in your mouth.
Commander Adama, I just wanted to say how very sorry I am about Lieutenant Thrace.
But I think you've been misinformed.
I was told that her oxygen had run out a half an hour ago.
She may have a reserve supply. We'll continue the search as long as there's a chance she may be alive.
And how long will that be?
Till I say stop.
He gonna hang out. Mm-hmm.
Seal you up, figure out what controls what.
But wouldn't, if she, like, say she flies that, would they not just shoot on sight?
They request permission to land. They have the president on board, sir.
She wants to stop the search.
Have Colonel Time meet her at the airlock. Bring her to my quarters.
Every flying machine has 4 basic controls. Power, pitch, yaw, and roll. Where are yours? Safety tip number 1, don't touch that.
Are you going to order us to stop the search?
Do I need to know something?
It's gone beyond military needs. It's personal for the commander and for Lee, too.
Because of Lieutenant Thrace.
Because of Zach Adama. Take about 3 weeks to explain.
I mean, would it? They were engaged. They love her. Like, I did it in, like, 6 words.
Neither of you can let go of Kara Thrace because she's your last link to Zach. Exposing
Okay.
the entire fleet to possible attack every moment we stay
A bit of a personal
We've
attack.
been here.
How much aviation fuel has been expended?
43% of reserves.
1/3 of your fighters out of action. That is also completely unacceptable.
It's a military matter.
And you're both perfectly aware that you are putting the lives of over 45,000 people in the future of this civilization at risk. Now, if the two of you, of all people, can live with that, then the human race doesn't stand a chance.
It's an oversimplification, I think, because I'll talk about it in the post episode, but I think the life of one person is just as important as the life of 45,000 people, because if it's not, then why do the 45,000 people matter at all? If one person doesn't matter, why do 45,000? You know?
Terminate search operations. Prepare the fleet to make a jump. We're leaving.
I disagree with that. Also, I still don't understand. Like, if they see the Cylon coming, are they not gonna shoot at her? Because they think she's a Cylon? Oh, shit.
Take
Maybe they won't shoot because they'll know that the Cylons wouldn't know for another day.
I think she's wrong. I think we have come to terms with what happened to Zach.
I haven't.
Oh damn, he just admits it.
I need to know something. Why did we do this?
Kara was family.
Yeah.
You do whatever you have to do. Sometimes you break the rules.
And if it was me down there instead?
He would never stop.
If it were you, we'd never leave.
Yeah.
Resume your duties.
I knew he
Sir. Fighters are aboard, sir.
Mr. Gaeta, start the clock.
Thank you, I'll stay here. I'd like to see how the professionals do it.
would you? I understand her perspective, but I just disagree with it. And be like, oh, Cylon!
Execute jump, Lieutenant Gaeta.
Contact.
Hold count.
Cylon Raiders, sir. He's on an intercept course. He'll be on us before we complete the jump, sir.
Launch Vipers.
Oh no! Oh gosh, I'm scared. Don't shoot! But she does, there's no like radio, there's no way to communicate that it's her, right?
Now look before you shoot, please.
Yes. Look before you shoot. 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 Look before you shoot.
Well, I guess I'm going solo.
Yep.
Why only one Cylon this time?
Because it's Kara.
Be a lone recon mission.
No.
Vanguard for a Cylon base ship.
You're so wrong.
Either way, we're gonna have to take it out before we can jump.
No. Don't take it out. No. Lee, stop shooting.
We're gonna have to do this the hard way then.
Lord, this bastard's good.
Stop shooting. I understand why, but
What the? He is nowhere to be seen. Holy shit. This thing is acting weird.
yes. Starbuck.
It's marked Starbuck. It's right under the fracking wing. It's got to be her. This thing is flying with some serious attitude.
My God, those are all fucked up. I can't see. And now they can study it, right? So that'll be helpful.
Like my new toy.
Boy, when you take a souvenir, you don't screw around.
I have a feeling they're gonna end up together. I ship it a little bit. Not gonna lie. Okay.
How you
Don't
feeling?
make me cry.
Been a hell of a lot worse.
You did good.
It's real good.
Need anything?
A stogie would be nice.
Had a feeling. It's my last one, so enjoy.
Thank you.
Okay, cool. That was a really good episode. I really enjoyed the end, obviously, and the emotion of it, and seeing Adama forgive Starbuck and sort of realize how much she means to him, and yeah, just admit that he's not worked through Zach's death, that he's not okay. Like, again, as a parent, I think I've said this before, I don't think that you would ever be okay. Like, I don't think that you would ever get over it, right? And move on. I think that you would carry that with you forever because that's your child. And I don't mean that you could never be happy again. I don't mean that you could never live a life again. I just mean that I think that it's not natural for a parent to lose a child. And so I think that that would be very hard. And I think that when you lose a sibling, it would be very hard as well. Like, so I think from Lee's perspective, it would be extremely difficult, but I do think that it might not be as difficult as it would if it was your child, you know, because I think sibling love and parental love is probably different. I don't have kids, so I can't say for sure. I do have siblings and I love them immensely, and I would be very distraught if anything happened to any of them, but I can't, you know, relate to it on a parental level, so I can't say for sure. But from what I understand of parental love, the idea of losing your child would be a lot, you know? So I could see where Adama was coming from in the last episode, and I'm glad that this episode happened so quickly after last episode so that we didn't have to see them at odds for very long, because that would have been upsetting to me. And I think that it would have been sad to watch them be at odds and to watch him blame her and be angry at her for too long, because I think that especially when you lose someone that you love, you look for somebody to blame, you look for something to blame, and when it's an accident, you know, you probably blame God or gods, lords, in this case of Cobalt, and just other things like the ship, the situation, things like that. And yet, if you're given a person to direct all of your anger and blame and hurt and pain onto, that would be bad. So I'm glad that he didn't. I think eventually he would have realized that fault and responsibility and that kind of stuff, it doesn't matter, because it's not going to bring him back, you know. And she loved him, and she would have never, you know, wanted to lose him if she could have helped it. So I think that they would have eventually found that path towards acceptance and love again. And I don't think it would have taken like a tremendously long time, but I'm glad that the time that it took was like expedited, because of this situation where he almost lost her and he realized like, no, that's my daughter. I love her. You know, she's family. And sorry, it gets me. And so I really enjoy that. And I love their interactions. And I love to see Adama and Lee interacting. Like when Lee asked if it had been him. And I think that he feels like he wasn't as close to their dad as Zach. At least that's the feeling that I've gotten watching it so far. I could be wrong in that front. But I feel like he feels a little bit more removed from his father. There's a little bit more tension there. And maybe that is only because of Zach's death. I'm not sure. But when he asked him, like, what if it was me down there? I think that he needed that reassurance, excuse me, guys, from his father, like, I would not leave. And I said it, and I fully believe it. Like, nobody could have convinced Adama to leave if Lee was down there. Like, he would have sacrificed 45,000, 47,000, however many people there are. And he would have done it without a second thought for his son. You know, I genuinely believe that. And so I love that moment, and I love Lee having his father say that to him. You know, I think that a lot of times parents don't like to say, well, not a lot of times, I won't say that. In some situations, parents, especially because Adama is like a military person, although he does seem to be very in touch with his feelings, but a lot of, sorry, I did it again. sometimes parents aren't super emotional and they don't feel the need to say that they love their kids and to really reassure them of how they feel about them and everything. But I think that it's really important as someone who has parents, as a child, my parents were very reassuring with me, and they always let me know without a shadow of a doubt that they loved me and would go to the ends of the earth for me. And I think that it helps. It gives you security knowing that there's people out there who love you that vehemently, And I think that every child deserves that unconditional, vehement love. And so, yeah, it's nice to see Lee get that love and support from his dad and it to be vocalized, because especially between fathers and sons, I feel like it's not often vocalized. And I think it's really important to vocalize it and show it. And so I like that they did that. I also, and I talk about this a lot, and so I don't want to harp on it too long because, again, I've said it many, many times in many, many reactions, probably in a few of these reactions as well. In fact, I know I did because of the Olympic carrier situation. I think that if you devalue the life of one single person, Starbuck in this situation, then you devalue the life of all of the 47, 45, whatever, 1,000 people that you're trying to save. If you say that one person's life isn't worth saving, then why are 45,000 lives worth saving? I think that when you look at humanity as a whole, you have to put the value in a single life. Every single one of those 45,000, 47,000, whoever people have people like Adama and Lee who love them so vehemently that they would do everything in their power to save them. Why should their lives matter less just because the people in power aren't the ones fighting for them? Do you know what I mean? So I think that it's important to understand that humanity as a whole isn't worth saving if individual people aren't worth saving. I think that you really have to put it into perspective in that way, because otherwise what's the point? Why is humanity worth saving if each individual person that exists within humanity isn't worth saving? I really think that. And I think that you don't have to look at it that way. Again, that's just my own morality and the way that I view the world. But I do think that it always brings up an interesting question when we get in these sorts of situations, because they're like, yes, it's sad, but we must sacrifice this person to save all these people. And I think that then you're saying that individuals don't matter, individual lives don't matter. And I have a hard time reconciling that, personally. I also think that it's really cool to see Starbuck go into the Cylon ship and figure it out, because my dumb ass would just be dead. I appreciate smart characters. I don't relate to them. No, I'm kidding, kind of. But I think that the human instinct to survive is very strong, and you would do whatever you had to do in order to try to survive, regardless of your level of intellect. But I do really appreciate smart characters and determined characters and snarky characters, and so I really like Starbuck a lot. And seeing her go into the ship, seeing that the Cylon ship is part, what is it? Organic life, I guess you would say, a brain and veins and squishiness and stuff like that, and part machine, is actually really cool. I assumed that it would just be purely machine in the Raider ships. I don't know why, but I did. And so to see that it wasn't was kind of cool. And it also gives an excuse for Starbuck to be able to get in there and actually operate it, because otherwise there would be no inside because it wouldn't be necessary, you know? But yeah, I just thought it was cool. And again, I like Starbuck figuring it out and doing whatever it took to try to survive, because I don't know, it was fun. It was interesting to see her figure out how to fly this apparatus that she'd never flown before, figure out the way to do it, kind of explain to the audience while talking to herself, like what she was doing and what she was trying to figure out and everything. Now, do I necessarily believe that you would be able to do that? Maybe not, but I mean, it doesn't matter. It's a television show. Like, I can suspend my disbelief that she would be able to figure out how to fly it and that it would be so simple and easily accessible to her. So yeah, I think it's really interesting too that the Cylons kind of in all aspects are moving towards a mixture of organic and non-organic life form, right? Someone said in the comments before that the Cylons, like the ones that were attacking Hilo in the, where was that, like diner place, that those are a throwback to the Cylons from the original show in the 70s, which a lot of people are telling me I should watch. I might watch it probably off screen at some point, you guys. But I do know it exists. If you're still watching, I know it exists. My mom actually watched it and she loved it back in the day. And she's actually the one who was telling me I should watch this years and years ago. When it first came out, because I remember her being excited to watch it because she had watched the one in the 70s. So I am aware that it exists, you guys, don't worry. But yeah, so apparently those Cylons, the pure machine ones, are a throwback to the 70s Cylons, and I think it's really cool. It's cool how they're transitioning from being purely mechanical to a mixture of organic life and mechanical. And I wonder if the Cylons that look and feel human are purely organic, or if there is some sort of machinery in them as well. Because 6, we saw her whole spine like lit up red in the first episode, or the first part of the miniseries. And so that to me suggests there's some sort of mechanisms still in there that are mechanical, but I'm not sure. It'll be fun to find out though. Speaking of Hilo and the Cylons on Caprica and everything, did I say Earth before? I can't remember. If I did, I'm sorry, Caprica. I'm still very confused about that entire storyline. Like, I thought, okay, they want him to find the place where the other humans are so that they can take them out. Like, that made sense to me. But then they went to the place and there was no humans because the Cylons had traced the beacon previously, I assume, and taken out the humans. And then they sent these Cylons in to kidnap Sharon / Boomer. And now Hilo's looking for her. And I'm just curious as to what this whole narrative is, because I think that this Boomer / Sharon knows that she is a Cylon, as opposed to our Sharon, who does not know. And what is the point of Hilo finding her, finding the shelter, now losing her? Is it just so that they could show him where he could get the necessary supplies in order to survive, like the radiation meds, the food, the medication, all of it? And if so, why are they so intent on Hilo surviving? Is it because they want to learn about the Galactica? And if so, how does them taking Sharon further that purpose? Unless they leave a trail of breadcrumbs. Hilo follows that trail of breadcrumbs, finds her, she's imprisoned, being tortured by the Cylons to find out about Galactica, and then he has to, then he's also imprisoned, right? Tortured, whatever, to learn about the Galactica. Like, the only information that he has that I could see that would be valuable to the Cylons would be information about the Galactica. Right? Because, like, otherwise, I don't understand everything that's happening there. Like, it makes no sense to me. You know? The last thing that I want to say is it wrong that I kind of ship Lee and Starbuck, knowing that her and his brother previously had a very intimate relationship? They were engaged. We literally saw them having sex. Is it bad? Is it bad? Would it be bad for Lee to go there? And is it bad that I want Lee to go there? Maybe I've just been watching too much of The Good Wife. I don't know. I'm just like, everybody, have fun. Anyway, I think that's all that I really have to say. Thank you guys so much for watching. As always, if you want, you can like, comment, and subscribe if you aren't already. You can also watch the next episode right now over on Patreon if you're watching this on YouTube, as well as my entire full-length reaction to this episode and every episode thus far of Battlestar Galactica, including the miniseries. Yeah, that's all that I really have to say. Until next time. Bye, guys.